I've been doing the Refuge noon drill along with the Green Tara practice this retreat, and I've found it very rich, very interesting. The Lam Rim teaches 4 reasons that Buddhas are suitable objects of refuge, and this is one of the points that I've been meditating on, so I thought I'd talk about those a little bit today. So the first point is that the Buddha has attained the fearless state of complete self-control. And so when you think about that, just to imagine to be rid of all the afflictions, ignorance, anger, attachment, jealousy, pride, and so on. Just to imagine that. I think that the mind would be so freed up. You would have so much mental and physical energy, which then I think explains the power of the Buddhas. Geshe Sopa writes that the result of eradicating these afflictions is a state of fearlessness because one is not under the power of uncontrolled causes and conditions. And so that certainly makes sense, that there would be no resistance to anything, you know. You wouldn't be stuck in any of your own stuff, which would be just lovely. The second point, the second reason is that they have skillful and effective means to free others from all fear. And so that one follows that if you've reached enlightenment, then you have energy and power to be able to turn towards others and help them. So that makes perfect sense to me. The third point is they have equal compassion for all, regardless of whether we have faith in them or not. And with this one, what I've thought about is that this is very possible because when I think about our teachers and the depth of the great compassion they've cultivated, that it's very possible, of course. And it always helps me to try to bring examples that are close to me of, you know, living beings, because Buddhahood seems so remote in many ways. But if we think of our teachers or the great masters of the past and the skills that they developed, then it's a little more accessible, I think. And then the fourth reason is they fulfill the aims of all beings, whether or not those beings have helped them. And so this one, again, I think of teachers and how they relate in such an unbiased way. They always respond and relate to people in such a lovely, free, unbiased way. And so again, that makes it more accessible for my mind. There's a lot of benefits to the refuge practice, and certainly to deepen one's refuge, obviously, that's one thing. And I think just with the familiarity, what it seemed like so far of reciting the refuge over and over again, that it is becoming more real. I think I have more experience with it. It's not so intellectual now. And then the other points or benefits to this practice is by purifying past negative actions and creating positive potential, which is what happens when we do this practice, that then helps us progress. And I was thinking about why that would help us progress on the path. And I think what I came up with was if we can purify our past actions and be mindful and guard our body, speech, and mind as best we can, and not create more negativities, and when we do, to purify them immediately. And then if we place our mind on virtuous objects and on virtuous actions, if we practice doing that over and over again, then we're getting closer to a Buddha's activities. And so then it seems like naturally it would follow that realizations would come, I think. So it's been a very rich practice, and I invite people to investigate it. Venerable Chödrön gave a series of teachings on the Nundro practice back in September. I think the first one was September 3rd of this last year. And so it's a lovely practice.